Then hello, good morning, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. This is the tailgate ahead of this game this afternoon. Accelerate for me. Is 12 o'clock this afternoon or not, guys? I don't know what is going on with the internet. If you can see me, let me know. If you can't see me, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this bloody computer at the moment. 2 seconds, guys. There we go. Hopefully we've got back up a bit of signal now. We've got it back working. Maybe, hopefully, perhaps let me know in the live chat. I do not know what this computer is doing this morning. It is decided that this is the morning. It's going to play up galactically. There we go. Hopefully we're back on now. Oh, dear me. We can see it. Good. I'm glad you could see it. But I don't know what was going on, mate. It was up, it was down, it was all over the place. I heard Stone looking at a 3-game ban for a tweet about the ref trying to give a nice penalty. I haven't seen anything about that, buddy. Right, guys, let's start with apology. Apology for cancellation of last night's live. Literally, I didn't get back home from work until after 7 o'clock. I started at 2:30 in the morning, left work at about 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'd done a 15-hour shift and was just too tired to talk. So we're going to come down this morning. We're going to talk, obviously, it's match day. It is game day. We are all awaiting team news, which should be live in about 7 or 8 minutes' time. From David Park. It's a big one. Look, what's going to be fascinating today is to see what type of performance Rangers put on this afternoon, this morning, whatever we count fucking 12 o'clock as. It's such a weird time for a kickoff, isn't it? What time is 12 o'clock? Who knows what time 12 o'clock is? Is it lunchtime? Is it morning? I don't know. David Richmond, morning to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Look, I don't know. For me, it's all about the team he puts out there. I think that will obviously help with the formation, will help with the shape of it. Airwolf says if Dessers and Tav comes in, that proves Clement is trolling. Yeah, I mean, look, I really do. Look, if you ask me now, 6 minutes out probably from team announcement, morning Bluebells, to give you a team. If you ask me now to give you a team 6 minutes out from kickoff, I'm going to go with this team, okay? With Butland in goal, Tavernier at right back, fuck's sake. Suter, Proper, Kiefte, Barron, Diamonde, Raskin. I'm going to go Tierney, Bayrami and Dessers. That's what I'm going to go for. If you ask me now to go some 6 minutes out from team announcement time, what you think I think the formation will be. I honestly think he'll put Tav and Dessers back in there. I think if he puts Tav and Dessers back in today, it just shows to me that the guy hasn't learned at all. He really has learned absolutely nothing from the last few games. You know, the fact that, you know, that last 23 minutes against Motherwell in the semi-final, you know, the game just gone against Nice. The team looks so much more fluid. It looks so much quicker. It looks so much better. It just looks a better all-round team without those two in the lineup. And now, look, for me, the biggest problem, you know, no matter what you think about Cyril Dessers, you know, whatever your opinion is on Cyril Dessers, the biggest problem for me is in Scotland against a low block, and even to some extent in Europe, the guy just isn't mobile enough. He just is not mobile enough. He just stands still too much. You know, if you're going to play against a low block, movement is key. Absolutely, movement is key. You know, moving players around, moving defenders around, moving midfielders around, moving the opposition around, so that if you've got a forward that just stands up against the front two permanently, like Dessers does, because Dessers' game is to wait there, wait for the ball to come to him, try and bring the ball under control, and then try and turn and move from wherever he is. Now, the issue is with that is that it makes him really easy to mark. Now, the problem with that is the fact against a low block, when a team sets up as a 4-5-1 and sets up in those bank of 4, bank of 5, and then the 1, and even then a bank of 6, if that striker drops back into fill in the middle, back as a bank of 10, then you automatically make it so hard to break them down because everything is so static at that point. Now, the whole idea of having a striker that moves like Danny does, like Igaman does, is it moves the defenders around because the central defenders don't seem to know whether to stand still, whether to go with the defender, stay in their position, pass the man on. There's that worry there as a defender. Now, when I played football, I started as a goalkeeper, then as a defender. Just bear with me a minute, sorry guys. Mia, shut up! Right, guys. So yeah, it is one of those things. Where if Dessa stands still, it just makes him so much easier to mark, and the movement is absolutely key. The movement is absolutely key. Airwolf, good point. I mean, the thing I suppose is Airwolf that he's talked about. Now, one of the things that doesn't add up with the whole rotation thing to me is it only seems that we rotate certain players. That certain players either he doesn't want to rotate, can't be rotated, won't be rotated. No matter what happens, we don't rotate. We don't rotate. Certain people can't be rotated, and I don't understand it. I generally don't understand it. If you're going truly for a rotation of players, then you shouldn't rotate. Everybody needs to rotate. Then you need to rotate the squad fully. I think the whole argument about rotation is utter bollocks. I think there's only certain players that seem to be rotated. The strikers. Obviously rotating Tav back into the team, etc., etc. Airwolf says should look at Ragnar Ake, scored 7 in Bundesliga 2. Interesting. I'll have a look at that one. Easy win for Famous today, says Igaman's Tash. Love that. Is me here yet? No, mate. That's my niece. Very badly behaved one. Okay, right. Let's have a little look. Right, so look, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen today. Scott's this morning, guys. I think a lot revolves around what this team is going to be today and how Clement sets up today. Look, I mean, St Johnstone, I'll be honest with you, are going to play with a block, aren't they? They're going to put in a low block. They're going to come in and try and make life as difficult as possible for us because at the end of the day, they don't want to get this into a football game because, if they get into a football game against us, they're going to lose because they know they haven't got the quality that we've got. They haven't got the players that we've got. At the end of the day, they can't compete footballing wise with Rangers or Celtic, if we're going to include them. And unfortunately, obviously, Celtic won 5-0 yesterday. So that's not great. But, that is just, it is what it is, guys. But look, at the end of the day, this today will be a more difficult game, I believe, than the one was on Thursday night. Now that sounds absolutely a crazy thing to say, given the fact that Nice, keep calling him Leon, sits, in the top 6 of League One, whereas obviously St Johnstone are shite. But the problem is that St Johnstone will not want to play football against us. They don't want to play football. They don't want to get into a game because if they get into a game against us, they know they're going to lose. They're going to lose. The reason some players aren't rotated is the injuries and fitness of some players. Possibly true. After Thursday, where does that leave Dessers? Hopefully never to start again, mate, but he will start today. Ibrox News linking Jack McKenzie to a move. Again, another one to look into. Their pitch is usually not great. No, it isn't. I mean, McDermott Park, it isn't great. I mean, I think that the problem is, I think at the moment, there's a lot of places, given the weather, if your weather's anything like it is down here with the rain and horrible weather that we've had, then it isn't going to be great, mate. It isn't going to be great at all. Igman's Tash says the Moroccan Morelos for a hat-trick today. It's not what Celtic did yesterday, it's what we do today that matters. Agree, RRM. We've got to obviously win today. It is about us getting the 3 points today. And it's not just, I don't think personally, about us getting the 3 points today. I also think it's also about us putting a decent result out there on the park today. Going out there and actually putting a decent result out there on the park it is key, absolute key for me today. It really, really genuinely is. It really is absolute key today. because we need to go out there and we need to play. We need to actually put a decent performance on the lineup. Team is out, guys. The team is actually out. We're going to bring the team up, and it's not great news, if I'm being honest with you. It's not great news about the team. I'll bring the team up in a minute. We'll discuss the team. Here we go. Let's bring it up for you. Igaman is starting. That's the good news today. That's the good news. The bad news is that Tav is back in the team. Why the fuck Tav is back in the team, God only knows. I mean, why that absolute useless, shitty tool of a fucking human being is anywhere near our team, I do not know. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be wholly honest with you. I absolutely fucking can't stand James Tavernier. I think the guy is an absolute shitbag. So the team today, here it is. Butland in goal. Unfortunately, Tav is back at right back. Suter, Proper, Kieftes, the back four, pretty much as I expected. I don't know. I'm just incredulous as to why James Tavernier isn't the team. He just ruins this team. Every time that fucking cunt plays in our team, he ruins the team. The guy is just a massive fucking cunt. Baron Raskin, Hadji start, that's good news. Bayrami and Cheney and Igaman. The bench is Kelly, Ridvan, Dessers, Diamande, Dow, Balogun, King, McCausland and Danilo. Let's have a look at some comments. We haven't got the squad to discard. Dessers, Danilo, Igaman need help in case of injuries. Morning, we are the people. Performance required, agree. No Dessers, please. Got a good feeling today. Let's enjoy the game. Celtic scored 5 against Ross County. We scored 4 against Nice. No comparison, in my opinion. Hadji starting Dessers. Yeah, this is the problem, Bobby. Putting him in the team ruins the team. Because it means that Cheney is constantly, having to slow down for Tav. He's having to cover for Tav. It's just. I'm just fed up of that absolute useless shitbag tool, fucking just loser of a player constantly been in, is just, back in the team is just awful. I can't stand him. Tav is finished, but you can't, mate. I'm sorry. Trying Scotsman, I will call Tav what I want, and I can't stand the bloke. I genuinely cannot stand the bloke. I absolutely fucking hate the bloke with a passion. I just can't fucking stand him anymore. He's an absolute fucking tosser. Why no Sterling? Is this because of the social media after the Nice game? Says professional cynic D1MO. We're 14 points behind Celtic. Wake at Nice or County. It's the league table that matters. CGO got sacked, did he? Oh, wow, there you go. Bring him back. Clement Shite manager if he thinks Tav is a good player. What's happening with weak Cass? Cass had an operation yesterday, D1 EMO, so he's going to be out for a little while because he had an operation yesterday. The bench is interesting. I think there's a bit of strength on that bench. Yeah, this is a great point. Tav makes Suter's game so much harder to do, constantly having to watch two positions. Stuart Allison, this has been my point all along. The fact that Suter is constantly pulled out of position when James Tavernier plays because the guy goes missing. He constantly goes missing. And that's the big issue for me. He constantly goes missing. And then you've got a situation where you've constantly got poor, you've constantly got a situation there where you've got to cover for him, and this is not good. It's not good. Absolutely not good. Yeah, I agree. Tav is stealing a wage. Tav is an absolute cunt. He really is. Good to see Hadji get. I'm really pleased that he's in the team. Absolutely, massively pleased to see that guy in the team. Really, that's good news. What is really good news about him being in the team? It's good to see him get a start. I think a lot of that is down to the fact that he's got a situation. He played well in the last game. He made a real influence in the last game, didn't he? So that's good news. Tav is a squad player now. He's going to start some games. We should be able to beat St Johnstone with that team. C-Max, good point. We should. Anyone think Beale joining Gerrard will open the door to bring them both together? Had a little thought. That'd be great if they took him, Mr. Kazi. It's PC that's picking him. This is a PC issue, says Bluebells are blue. Sold Goldston and got Proper as a replacement. It was a downgrade. I think it was more a one for one. I think Galton and Tav I think Galton and Proper are equal standard bad. Tav needs to keep around as one of the few players that have won anything in the club. I disagree with that. He's won 3 trophies in 12 years, mate. He's a fucking loser. Sterling getting dropped is probably because of the tweet he put up. I'd probably imagine so, Geordie. Interesting to see if Ridvan gets a run out. Yeah, I mean, that's a good shout as well. I'm just, like I said, I just think, the social media stuff you need to leave to one side. You need to play, you need to kind of look at it in terms of the fact that you want to play your best team. Every week in, week out, play your best team. And to me, James Tavernier is not in the best team. James Tavernier is a pub footballer. James Tavernier wouldn't get in my Sunday League team. I mean, he really wouldn't. He's that shit. So I am at that point with James Tavernier where I just absolutely hate the guy with a passion, and I just wish he'd leave my football club and give us a chance. I mean, if he was a man, a real man, he would walk. He'd resign. He'd walk. But he's not going to, is he? Because let's face it, he's on 30 grand a week, and who's gonna walk away from 30 grand a week? But no, James Tavernier is not a man, is he? He just isn't a man. Yeah. Let's have a look at some more comments. Jack Burke says Hadji is a surprising start, and I think we should start Ridvan. I mean, I've been saying all week, mate, that I would have put Jeff Tay further up the pitch as a left winger to bring some pace to the attack. I think that's a good shout, Jack. But Hadji, yes, surprising start, but a good surprise. Ridvan needs minutes. I'd bring him on when we're cruising by a few goals. Hopefully we can get to that position. Has PC lost all his fucking brain cells? Why Tav? Phil, you fucking lost it. Pretty much club. The club has won 3 trophies in 12 years. Are you calling the club the same as Tav? I'm saying the club has won 3 trophies in 12 years. James Tavernier is the captain. James Tavernier is the leader on the pitch. James Tavernier is a serial fucking loser, mate. While you pull that jersey on, you're a Rangers player. Once you've left, then call them whatever you want until then with the people. Trying Scotsman, I agree, but if I was there, I would boo every touch James Tavernier takes. I hate the guy. I haven't got a wife, Dave's Doug, so I don't care. Tav came on Thursday and played okay. He was shit on Thursday, mate. He was caught out of position. Tav was shit on Thursday. Danilo is on the bench, yes. If Tav had any pride, I agree with that one. Bayrami in his natural position, Hadji on the wing. I would actually love this lineup. Interesting. I don't think that'll be the case. I think Hadji will be in the 10 and Bayrami will be on the left. Anyone going for a Christmas party, be nice to the catering staff? Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that one. I hate supporting our team with Tav in it. It's a disgrace. He places, never mind the cheek to take the armband. Agreed. Hamza hat-trick tonight, hopefully. Hopefully, Geordie. Gerrard and Beale got gubbed 4-0, 13th in a pub league. Yeah, I mean, that... Honestly, if you ain't looking too clever for Steven Gerrard, is it out there? I mean, I do think it's only a matter of time before they get rid of him, to be honest with you. I don't think they'll tolerate the underperformance any longer at that club. But look, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Rangers. We're here to talk about today's game. I think, personally think that team will be enough to beat St Johnstone today. I'm glad that we've got Igman up front. I'm glad that we've gone for that. I mean, I'd be interested to see who he brings on when he takes Igman off. If he brings on Danilo or he brings on Dessers. I hope it's Danilo because I think that would send a massive message to Cyril Dessers that he's well and truly out of favour. But I think the interesting comment that was made the other day, it is a really interesting comment the other day. That he made in terms of he said that Sterling needs to up his game. That's an interesting comment that he made. Not Sterling. I was reading a tweet about Sterling at the same time. It's an interesting comment that he's made as regards the whole situation around Dessers and having to up his game. It's clear that perhaps there is a little bit of a realisation there from Philippe Clement that Cyril Dessers isn't up to the task, that he isn't perhaps the player that maybe he thought he was. It's an interesting comment. It was a very interesting comment that was made by the manager. I mean, it's not the sort of normal comment the manager comes out with, is it? He doesn't normally come out with that sort of comment about players, does he? He doesn't usually name individual players. He certainly doesn't. Look across the water. They keep their experience in and around the team. Their standard like it or lump it, getting rid of every older player doesn't work. Odd one, Boar. I'm sorry. The guy's got to go. He's a loser. He needs to go in January. I know, mate. As soon as I said, sure, the match starts now, for fuck's sake. I hope Igman plays the way he did, as this is his game. Yeah, absolutely. This game will be completely different, Bobby. That's a great point. It really will be a great point. That's a great point, you've made there. that it is going to be a very, very different game today, because St Johnstone will not try and play football against us. They will try and spoil, foul, kick, just try and break the game up as much as is possible. Sterling's not even making the bench. It's fucking mind-blowing. Again, this is a PC issue. He's an absolute tool. Definitely this will be due to that social media post. PC's arrogance is killing us yet again. I would agree wholeheartedly with that comment. To be fair, at the minute, Sterling is the only player that's good. Sterling is a good player. He is. Is Sterling made out of rich tea? Lol. Airwolf, he is definitely has a clause in his contract that Tav needs to play most games, because what the fuck starting today when we have a 25 25-year-old raring to go. Agreed. Back to the positive. Chris Woods or the Goldie Kloss. Chris Woods, I said about Sterling's fitness before the game. He isn't fit again. Players can't say or do anything without being dropped, apart from his favourite, just like Monaco said. Probably the social media post. I mean, it could well be that. I mean, obviously, it'd be interesting to see the interview when Clermont is actually interviewed by the, has his pre-match interview, what the situation is, why he says that that he isn't playing. Let's have a quick look at the St Johnstone team. Let's have a quick look. Stop sharing that. Bring this back up. Let's get a new one up there. So I'm going to bring up the St Johnstone team again. We'll have a look at that together. See what their teams are like today. Apparently they're unchanged from their win. Chris Woods. No, I'm a Chris Woods fan. Chris Woods was one of my idols. I ain't going to change on that one. No chance. Not a chance. Not a fucking chance. Let's see if we can get this team up at some point if the internet decides it's ever going to fucking work this morning. Come on, hurry up and work. So St Johnstone team, is here. The team this afternoon is as follows. It is Ray in goal, Mikulic, Raymond, Sanders, Holt, Clark, the former Rangers player, Carey, Wright, Sprangler, Kirk, and Kimpioka. I've got to say the only one I've really heard of, the only two players I've really heard of in that obviously is Clark, former Rangers player, and Kimpioka. Okay, team, but like that team will come here with the sole intention to play a football match. They'll not want to come here and make life easy for us. They'll want to come here and make life as difficult as possible for us. What kit have we got today? It's going to be the white kit today. There we go. There's the white kit today. It is the white kit today. Yeah. That's it is what it is, guys. I mean, have a quick look at some of your comments. Grant Willis says, as much as Bowen and Raskin put in good shifts, we really need a midfielder who can get into the box on a regular basis. You need goals in the middle of the park if you're going to win anything. Chris Wood, Sooners era when it was a kid, going with my dad. Yeah, 86, 87, mate. I was a kid as well. Players paid a lot of money to shut their mouths and do their talking on the park. Fergie got rid of any player that spoke out of turn. He did. I think the issue is, though, Odd One Ball, that the world's moved on since the days of Fergie. That's the only issue. The world has very much moved on since the world. And unfortunately, I think, the days of managers having the power, the days of managers, telling players what to do, are kind of ending now. Players have more power, and that's wrong. I agree, that's wrong. But players do have much more power these days. St Johnstone, a pub team, let's not make hard work of this today. Agree. I didn't say that much. I know the ref was desperately trying to give a penalty. Yeah, exactly. I just think it's ridiculous. The youth got a big game on Tuesday, CJ. All right, C-Max. Yeah, so people are slagging me off saying, who else would you play at right back? Well, Leon Balogun can play right back. Leon King can play right back. Broxy Bear can play right back. I mean, all those people can play right back. I mean, I'd actually, do you know what? As stupid as it might sound, I'd actually rather start Broxy Bear at right back, over him. I really would. 4-man defence and 2 of them are Tavern proper. That gives me the absolute fear against any team. I mean, I think there's a common feeling, I think, amongst a lot of fans, a very anti-Tav feeling in the fan base now. And like I said, I mean, I genuinely hate the guy. Chris Woods was my first Ranger goalkeeper hero as a kid, myself back in the day. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point. What's happened to Divine? He's still at the club. I mean, like I said, people say, who would you start at right back? Like I said, I would start Broxy Bear over fucking Tav at right back. I really would. I'd start my mum over Broxy Bear at right back, if I'm being honest with you. You know, to me, it's just it's I don't know. I really do worry about him playing today. I worry about what he brings to the team. I worry about how he affects the team. You know, how he affects the defense, how he affects every fucking curse. I mean, the guy is Souttar's is a quality player. He is a quality player. I like John Souttar. I've got a lot of time for John Souttar. Good shout, Stuart. That's an interesting one. Proper, yeah. I mean, Proper's proper, isn't he? I personally don't think that Proper's any better than. I don't think that Proper's any better than Ben Davis, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I think Ben Davis, and I think for Ben Davis, read Robin Proper, for Robin Proper, read Ben Davis. I think they're very similar players. I think they're just as bad as each other. In fact, I'd probably say that Ben Davis is a slightly better player than him. Yeah, I agree, Mr. Kazi. Yeah, Souttar is great. Yeah, I like Souttar. I think what's helping with Souttar is he's staying fit. That's the biggest one for me. Yeah, I agree. I'd one ball. Proper is worse than Ben Davis. I'd say Ben Davis is better. He's been transitioning King to be a right back since he came, but hasn't given the boy a sniff either. I agree with that one. That is a disgrace why he hasn't given him the chance today. Barron and Raskin, look, I think how can you can't really drop either of those players, on the back of their performances recently. You really genuinely can't. He is. I mean, he is. They are. They have been playing really well. They work well together. They dovetail well together. While one goes, one sits. They get stuck in. They win the ball back. They give us a domination of midfield. I think that's the key thing there. And looking at it from that aspect, that's probably why both of them are in the team. Hadji at 10. I'm really interested to see what Hadji can do today. I'm really hoping that Hadji can, create, can prompt, can really show us that he is the player that, that he is the player that we all hope he can be. He's a quality player, Igman, I'm so pleased for Hamza that he's got the start. Really am. Ben Davis is probably on higher wages. Yeah, that's probably true. I think Ben Davis is on about 24 grand a week, mate. I just saw the team is studying. I don't know yet. We'll find out what the reason is for that shortly. Let's hope we don't have an off day like we normally do after a European game. We need to bury teams like St Johnstone. I mean, that's a really good point there. That's a really positive point there from David Baird. It does seem, doesn't it, that when we come back from Europe, there is this little bit of a hangover. That there is this little bit of a, kind of a, oh shit, it's at the end of the day, oh we're tired. But the problem is, that's why you build a squad. You build a squad because you want players to. To have enough players to cope with playing 3 times a week, and that's the situation. So, hoping that it doesn't come out, this rubbish again. If we don't play so well today, or we don't start well today, that's because we're tired. These are professional footballers that they're paid to do a job. They're paid to go out there and play 3 games Look, I'm paid, and I know it's a different kind of stress and a different kind of work rate, but I do a pretty physical job, and I'm paid to do 5 10-hour shifts a week. So if I'm paid to do 5 10-hour shifts a week and I get to shift 5, and if in shift 5 I don't work very hard and I just kind of give up a little bit, my boss won't accept the excuse because I'm tired. I mean, it is a bit ridiculous. I'd love to see a Hamza goal. Hadji's still in his prime for the next few years. Let's take advantage. That's a good shout. We do need to do that. That we do need to do that. Playing 1 striker, 2 defensive mids in this league is shocking, says the Scots Viking. I think the thing is, though, there, mate, that I think away from home, you can kind of make an argument, no matter who you're playing, for 2 more, say, defensively minded midfielders. At Ibrox, I think you've got a very good point. At Ibrox, I would perhaps want to see Diamande in alongside Raskin or Barron, not play both of them, because at Ibrox, it is on us to go and take the game to them. It is on us to go and attack them. As for playing 1 striker, I don't think you're ever going to get a position and go back to the situation where Clement will play 2 strikers. It just isn't his game. He's never ever shown that he will play 2 strikers. He just won't. So I don't think that is something that we're ever going to see. We're never going to see, I don't think, a 2 striker game, unless perhaps we're losing or perhaps we're behind in a game, that he may throw a second striker on to try and chase the game if it's close. But I think as for starting 11s, I don't think you're ever going to see that. It very much isn't in his in his DNA, his managerial makeup. He always plays the 4-2-3-1, sometimes a 4-3-3. So he's not very tactically flexible in terms of putting twos. I don't think you're ever going to get to that situation where you will see two. One thing we can do if it goes wrong is turning on Igman. Yeah, we don't turn on Igman. We must not. He's a good young player. We need to give him his chance. And he is still really raw. He looks a good player, but he is still really raw. Sterling can't retain his place. Taven hasn't justified his, and Hadji walks into our starting 11. The Clermont lucky dip in full effect. What teams play? There's no teams play 4-4-2, are there? I mean, there's just no teams play 4-4-2 now. It is not a situation, is it? We don't play 4-4-2. That's a great question. Where is Rice? I mean, I'd have thought after Thursday night, Rice would be on the bench today. Martin says, fucking Tav is starting. That's the game going to be as slow as a weekend in the cells. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? You know, you look at the comments and you look at the comments on here, and you look at the comments on social media, and the feeling very much is, why is Tav starting? You know, why? Why do we start Tav? It just isn't. I think absolutely. You know, there is a very much a feeling that James Tavernier is done. Absolutely done at this club. Even when we're losing or drawing that clown, yeah, we don't go to it. Yeah, he doesn't, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, youth have a big game coming up. That's probably why they've been dropped. Yeah, not played. This has got to be the strongest midfield we've put out in a long time with forwards in a league for a while. Mark Grimes, I think that's a really good point, mate. You know, if you look at the 4 or even the 5, you know, you look at the pivot 2, Barron and Raskin. You look at the 3 ahead of that, Tierney, Hadji, and Bayrami. I think, you know, if you go back to the second half against Dundee United, you had a situation where there was a real quality moments of link play between Hadji and Tierney, between Hadji and Bayrami. And I think you've also got a fluidity there as well. You know, that Bayrami can come central, Hadji can go left, Tierney can go left, Hadji can go right, Bayrami can go right. You've got a fluidity there. And you've got to kind of, you know, to have that situation where you do have a fluidity to your play, especially against the low block. You know, like I said, it's about being mobile. If you're going to overcome a defensive team, a team that's going to play and sit in against you, it's about movement. It's about dragging players out of position. It's about sowing seeds of doubt. Now, I mean, you look at, as a coach myself, you know, as someone who's coached, and yes, not at a top level, I've coached at a lower level. But if I'm watching a game and I've set my team up and I've sent my team out to play, and I've got a team and I'm playing against a team where there is very little movement. There is very little movement, and that team is sitting in. One of the things I will get my team to do and encourage my team to do is move. You've got to start moving. You've got to create space. You've got to move your defender around. Get that as a centre forward. You've got to get the centre back thinking, right, do I stay or do I go with the player? What do I do? And the moment you start to create that seed of uncertainty, that's when they make a mistake. That's when they leave the door open for someone, and that's where Hadji can exploit. And that's what we need to do. Really, we need to do this in this game. I think PC is learning Hadji is best with 10 behind the ball. Bobby, yeah, I think this is the thing. Hadji can thread a pass, can't he? He can play a killer ball. That's the one thing that he does. Yeah. Ben, Rice, Sterling, Yilmaz, etc. Fitness is a problem. All the younger players, why this? That's needs looking at. Tav isn't ever injured, unfortunately, and that's the problem why he starts most games. Yeah, I wish Tav would be injured. Rangers the best team. Yeah, it'd be good if Tav was out, had a season-ending injury, wouldn't it? Is Tav funding Clemens' GoFundMe page? Lol. Thank you, Jordan Brown. It's very kind of you. 199 chat. Thank you very much for that. Super sticker or super chat. I'm not quite sure what it is. It doesn't come up on the screen on StreamYard properly. So thank you for that. It's very kind of you. Mr. Kazi says, exactly needs to be players bouncing with. Owen expect it needs to be players bouncing with great attitude and all this stuff. Yeah, this is what it needs to be. Absolutely. I'd like to see young Curtis get at least 30 minutes. He's not on the bench, mate, today, so unfortunately he won't get any time. But I would like to see him play at some point. Xander says 13:01. I wish he'd stop chopping and changing the back four. I mean, yeah, it only seems to be the right back that he chops and changes, doesn't it? But yeah, if you go back and you look at the great Rangers teams of the past, you look at the team that I will always hark back to in terms of defensiveness, in terms of being secure defensively, is is that Arsenal team of Tony Adams. You know, you look at the Arsenal team, that of Tony Adams. You had, you know, Dixon, Adams, Keown, Winterburn. Dixon. It was every game, no matter what happened in front of them. They never changed that, did they? Which guy? John Walker, which guy do we need to delete? Please answer that question. Which guy do we need to delete? You know, at the end of the day, I mean, or, you know, you go forward, you move forward, and it was Lauren, Adams, Keown, and Clichy as left back. It was, you know, that solid thing, wasn't it? Constantly. Blue Nose Bob says we usually look nervous with Tavernier. We do because there's not enough trust in it. If Casemiro, Jones, Sterling are fucked, I guess Tav is literally the best right back there is. Dean, I think Leon King. I think the thing is, mate, it's St Johnstone. Leon King, Leon Balogun, both can play there. Robertson, Brown, Goff, and Stevens, brilliant team. Yeah, I mean, yeah, great. Gary Stevens, one of my massive heroes. He really was one of my massive heroes. He really was. The Terriers enjoy playing the low block. They have fun. Us, we moan about the low block and complain. Big difference in these games. Yeah, I agree. Stop living in the past. Club can't afford the level of players to keep the back four solid. They can odd one ball. They can. If, you know, we can. That's just such an outdated attitude. It's such an outdated attitude, mate. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. You know, if you look at what is our best back four going forward in the league, you know, that for me is the best back four we can play in the league. Sterling, Suter, Balogun, and Yefte. Sterling is, you know, he's quick, he's fast, he tracks back, he can do the one thing that James Tavernier can't do, which is defend. Suter is probably our best defender at the moment. Balogun equally. Again, Balogun is very, very good as well. You know, he's still quick, he's still mobile, he's still good for a 36-year-old. And Yefte seems to be the first choice left back. So, you know, you probably can keep that. You can. And one odd one, no one said that we can still be proud and think of them. Scott Viking, the club can't afford the players to be the best of the rest in Scotland. I think, you know, it's not about that. It's also about looking to the youth as well. And I think, you know, if you look at some of the youth players we've got, you know, and we've got some of these young players coming through. We've got young players who I think, you know, can make us as good as Celtic, who can make us as quality as Celtic, you know, if we actually fucking play them. And that for me is the big thing, you know, is why are we not, you know, trying some more of these young players out, you know. The players I'd sort of point to here: Finlay Curtis, Bailey Rice, Paul Uncio, Archie Stevens, Zach Lovelace. Quality players. I do agree with Odwin Ball. We've become a team who are happy to come out and say if players were any good, they wouldn't be here. I mean, that is unfortunate. I think it's more some of the players. I mean, when the players have said that, that's out of order. Absolutely. We might get another good reaction in the league today. Yeah. Let's have a look. Mr. Kazi says, Tav's playing. To be honest, man, I'm down already. That is such an interesting point. You know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who, I think, you know, when this team comes out and you see this team revealed, you know, in black and white, you know, and you see this team out there in black and white, you actually just go, ugh, because Tav's there. It's, you know, it is incredible. It is in quality, isn't it? Incredulous, I think. Stuart Alice says, what's the point in a youth system if you aren't going to bring them through? I mean, that's a top point from Stuart. What's the point in having a youth system if we aren't going to play them? You know, how are you ever going to find out if any of these players are any good if you don't use them? I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. You know, if you don't actually look there, you know, and you don't actually give these kids the chance to actually play, you're never ever going to find out whether they can actually play at this level or not. You know, you can talk as much as you want about, oh, we've got this really promising young player, Bailey Rice. We've got this really talented midfielder, Paul Uncio. We've got this really good striker, Zach Lovelace. We've got this top quality winger, Finlay Curtis. And then we talk about it, but we never ever get to actually see, can they do the job? You know, can they actually play there? Can they actually perform at this level? And I think, like I've said a number of occasions, people say, well, oh, you can't play the youngsters against, you know, you can't play the youngsters against in Scotland when we're not 2-3 goals up. Well, I would argue you can. You know, St Johnstone are a poor team. Ross County are a poor team. So, you know, if you're saying that we can't play Finlay Curtis against St Johnstone if you're saying that we can't play Paul Uncio against St Johnstone, then you're automatically saying for me that those players aren't good at all. Morning Bears, hopefully a convincing, comfortable win today. Come on Rangers. Sorry, I'm a realistic person. I think we need to reset, get the club on a profit-making footing, then sort the team on the field out. No, not debt to get crap. I disagree with that. We've got to get the team playing, the team we've got playing, because then you can sell players to get rid of the debt, mate. I think you're wrong. You're wholeheartedly wrong. I think a lot of what you say is wrong. Get rid of this pathetic women's team nonsense. Develop our youth. Then we have Divine on loan to Motherwell. Feel now he'd do better than Tav, mate. I think Broxy Bear would do better than Tav. Think of a player like Yamal coming through us, he wouldn't. Yeah, I agree, Stuart. You know what? If Lamine Yamal was at Rangers, he wouldn't get a game. He genuinely wouldn't get a game. He genuinely wouldn't get it. That's a fucking top point, mate. That is a fucking top point. That is a really good top point. That is. Yeah, Lamine Yamal probably wouldn't get a game at Rangers. He probably wouldn't. If you can't play youngsters, then why are they here? Exactly, David Hutchison. Why are they here? If you can't trust youngsters, yes, I'm not going to say, right, Finley Curtis, you wouldn't throw him into a game against Celtic. You wouldn't throw him into a game, his first start at Pittodrie. You wouldn't throw him into his first start at Tynecastle. You wouldn't throw him into his first start against Dortmund. But you would play him against St Johnstone, against Ross County, against Dundee United, against Dundee, against Motherwell. They're shit teams. Get this B team out. Yeah, agreed. That team, the squad, is potentially to actually be strong. Rangers team won't be that bad. Yeah. Odd one ball, we haven't got a trading model. We've only just properly set up a trading model. So my points are facts, your points are not facts. We've only just set up a trading model. The trading model works when you bring in young players, develop them, sell them. Now, in the past, we've not got a trading model, and the reason we haven't got a trading model is because we've constantly let contracts run down. I think Rangers don't develop youth because we keep losing them to English clubs. I mean, that's a point. We do. I mean, it is and it isn't. I mean, Bailey Rice is still here. Zach Lovelace is still here. Finley Curtis is still here. There's always the danger you're going to lose to English clubs. Even down in England, if you're not Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, you tend to lose your youth players to top players. Leeds United lost a guy called Finley Gorman to Manchester City. Sunderland lost a guy called Jordan Hugill to Manchester United. Sorry. So you do lose a lot of your young players. You do lose a lot of young players to those big four, unfortunately. Are you doing a watch on Owen? Yeah, I am. Yes, mate, I am. How do we stop English clubs stealing our best players? By playing them, mate. By playing them. By giving them a game. That's the way you stop them from losing your players. If they see, that at Rangers they've got absolutely zero chance of getting a game, and then they look at, well, Man United are coming in for me, or Arsenal are coming in for me, or Liverpool are coming in for me, or Chelsea, or Tottenham, or one of the English clubs coming in for me, and they're going to pay me, they're not going to play me, then they're not going to stay. Whereas if Manchester United are offering you 3 times your wages to go there, you're going to go there. That's the problem, isn't it? King got absolutely destroyed by the fan base. He did, unfairly so, I think. Unfairly so. Whereas Larry, yeah, I mean, there's another one we've lost, out for. If they play and get a contract, does that stop them? No, but it means you get a bit more money for them. If we lost a few, Patterson, Gilmore, we did, absolutely. If youth don't get a chance, they'll be off, not rocket science. Agree with you, David Hutchison, on that one. 100% agree with you on that one. Right, guys, I'm off to prepare for the live watch-along, guys. Please, obviously, come and join me for that. Thank you for joining me this morning for this starting. This program, this is the Tailgate. Interesting to have so many people here on board this morning. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your views. Please, obviously, smash that like, subscribe, and come and join the channel for as little as 99p. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please remember, we are one Rangers family. We are the people.